Once again, this is the ledger of the Untouchables. Let's get into part 3, the February fallout. The London firebomb. The biggest explosion hasn't been in New York, it's been in London. Peter Mandelson, the former U.S. ambassador and labor giant, was forced to resign from the House of Lords and the Labour Party just days ago. The files reveal he wasn't just socializing. He is accused of sharing sensitive government information with Epstein during the 2008 financial crisis. The Starmer crisis. British PM Keir Starmer is fighting for his political life. His chief of staff, Morgan McSweeney, and communications director, Tim Allen, both resigned this week, February 8th to 9th, over their roles in vetting Mandelson. The Royal Lodge eviction. Prince Andrew has been forced out of the Royal Lodge following new photos and emails showing his continued intimacy with Epstein long after the 2008 conviction. The Scandinavian shockwave. It's not just the UK. The cleanest governments in the world are currently in a state of emergency. Norway's $10 million will. Mona Juul, a key architect of the Oslo Accords, resigned as Norway's ambassador to Jordan and Iraq on February 8, 2026, following revelations in newly released Jeffrey Epstein files. The connection. $10 million inheritance. Documents reveal that Epstein's 2019 will bequeathed $10 million to the children of Juul and her husband, Terje Rode Larsen. Norway's Financial Crime Squad is investigating Juul for gross corruption. The probe focuses on whether she received personal benefits or made business introductions for private intelligence firms at Epstein's request. Files show the family visited Epstein's private island in 2011. Correspondence includes Rode Larsen calling Epstein his best friend, and Juul allegedly sending a kiss to Epstein in an email. Norway's foreign minister cited a serious failure of judgment as the reason for her departure. Juul denies any criminal wrongdoing and is cooperating with the ongoing investigation. The Nobel connection. Former PM Thorbjørn Jagland, who once chaired the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, is now under investigation by Norway's Economic Crimes Unit for his Epstein ties. Sweden and Slovakia. In early February 2026, Joanna Rubinstein resigned as chair of Sweden for UNHCR, following revelations in unsealed U.S. Department of Justice documents. It is now revealed that Rubinstein visited Jeffrey Epstein's private island, Little St. James, with her family in December 2012. This occurred 4 years after Epstein's 2008 conviction, a fact Rubinstein admitted she was aware of at the time. She stepped down on February 2, 2026, stating she firmly distanced herself from Epstein's crimes, which she described as horrific. Her resignation is part of a 2026 wave of fallout across Europe, often called the Epstein effect, affecting several high-profile figures. In early February 2026, Miroslav Lajčák, a veteran diplomat and former foreign minister of Slovakia, resigned from his position as national security advisor to Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico. His resignation followed files that revealed a digital trail of explicit communication between Lajčák and Jeffrey Epstein. Documents including messages from October 2018, in which Lajčák and Epstein discussed gorgeous girls. In one exchange, Lajčák reportedly asked Epstein why he wasn't invited to these games, referring to a specific girl. Epstein replied with comments about not being possessive of her or her sisters. The files also revealed that Lajčák had facilitated or discussed meetings between Epstein and various political leaders while serving in high-ranking diplomatic roles. Lajčák stepped down on February 2, 2026, the same day as Joanna Rubinstein from Sweden. Reports indicate he resigned primarily to avoid causing further political damage to his ally, Prime Minister Robert Fico. Despite the nature of the messages, Lajčák has denied any material wrongdoing. Like Rubinstein, Lajčák is considered a major figure in the Epstein effect, currently impacting European leadership. What about United States of America? In the U.S., the fallout is moving from the political stage to the boardrooms. Brad Karp, the powerful chair of law firm Paul Weiss, resigned just last week after emails showed him seeking Epstein's help for high-profile clients like NFL owner Steve Tisch and Robert Kraft. The Bill Gates effect refers to highly controversial allegations from Jeffrey Epstein's personal records that have caused a fresh wave of reputational damage. The files showed drafts mails written by Epstein, alleging Gates sought medical help for sexual transmissible diseases, following encounters with Russian girls. Epstein's notes suggest he attempted to document or facilitate extramarital trysts for Gates, potentially for leverage. Gates has called the claims absolutely absurd and completely false, framing them as fabrications by a disgruntled Epstein after Gates cut ties. In a February 2026 interview, Melinda Gates expressed unbelievable sadness over the resurfaced details, describing the situation as muck she is happy to be away from. While Gates faces no criminal charges, the 2026 disclosures have severely strained the internal culture of the Gates Foundation and cemented public scrutiny of his judgment. Other resignations and call for resignations. Jack Lang, veteran French politician, resigned as head of the Arab World Institute after revelations of ties to Epstein. Benjamin Weg-Prosser, CEO and co-founder of lobbying/advisory firm Global Counsel, resigned in the wake of Epstein file disclosures about the firm's engagement with Epstein. David A. Ross. David A. Ross is a prominent art curator and former museum director who resigned from his position at the School of Visual Arts, SVA, in early February 2026. His resignation followed the release of Department of Justice files revealing extensive email correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein, particularly from 2009. The files showed Ross consoling Epstein after his 2008 conviction, referring to it as a political frame-up, and showing enthusiasm for Epstein's idea of a statutory art exhibition featuring minors. Larry Summers stepped back from multiple public roles, including OpenAI board and academic advisory positions, following Epstein revelations. Later banned for life from the American Economic Association. Casey Wasserman, facing intense calls for resignation as president and chairman of the 2028 Olympics Committee, following release of emails with Ghislaine Maxwell. Several talent clients have cut ties. Howard Lutnick, U.S. Secretary of Commerce, has faced bipartisan calls to resign over newly revealed meetings and connections with Epstein. He has not stepped down yet. Keir Starmer, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has not been personally implicated in the Epstein files or accused of any sexual misconduct. However, he is currently facing a major political crisis regarding his judgment in appointing veteran politician Peter Mandelson as the UK ambassador to the United States in early 2025. Today, many are asking, what's going to happen next? What is the real main purpose of the document's release? Is for justice, or it's just documentation? As of today, February 12, 2026, the myth of Jeffrey Epstein as a lone wolf is dead. He was the central node in a global web of influence that traded in two currencies, money and human lives. The 3 million pages released so far have toppled careers that span decades. But the survivors tell us that resignations aren't enough. They want prosecutions. They want the unnamed co-conspirators from the 2008 deal to face a jury. The files are out. The names are known. The question is, what will the world do now that the lights are finally on? Thank you for listening to The Ledger of the Untouchables.